happens when you can't say yes to a raise? How do you handle tough conversations without losing trust? Hello, I'm Jerico. As a company director with many years of management experience, I'll share business knowledge, problems companies might face, and how to solve workplace troubles in an easy-to-understand manner. On this channel, I'll share the insights I've gained while balancing work, family, and everyday life. Sometimes you can approve it, but other times the budget simply doesn't allow it. So how can you respond respectfully without hurting motivation or damaging trust? Today, I'll share practical strategies to handle raise requests professionally, even when you need to say no. We all know it's not easy for any employee to ask for a raise. So when an employee comes forward to ask for a raise, the way you respond sets the tone not just for that conversation, but for your ongoing working relationship.
As a manager, what is the best way to approach this kind of situation?
Well, the first and most crucial step is active listening. You have to resist the urge to respond immediately or jump to conclusions. Instead, give them your full attention. Maintain eye contact, nod thoughtfully, and let the employee speak without interruption. This simple act communicates respect and signals that their perspective matters. After listening, dig a little deeper with clarifying questions. Ask about specific achievements, additional responsibilities, or contributions that prompted the requests. This does more than provide context as it demonstrates that you are taking their request seriously and are committed to understanding the full picture. You try to ask questions like, can you walk me through the key results that you've delivered? What are the areas do you feel that you could show that it has the most impact? Convey professionalism and genuine interest. Equal important is acknowledging their feelings. Requesting a raise can feel daunting, and employees want to know that their effort and concerns are recognized. Simple statements like, I understand that it is important to you, or I appreciate the dedication and results that you've contributed, validate their experience and foster trust. Acknowledgement doesn't imply agreement, but it shows that you are empathetic and thoughtful, qualities that strengthen the workplace relationships. Finally, remember that tone matters as much as words. A respectful, measured response paired with active listening and genuine acknowledgement creates a positive foundation for the discussion, even if the final decision requires further review or follow-up. Employees who feel heard are more likely to remain engaged, motivated, and open to constructive dialogue, regardless of the outcome. So by taking the time to listen carefully, ask insightful questions, and acknowledge both contributions and feelings, you transform what could be transactional conversation into an opportunity to reinforce trust, respect, and mutual understanding. So when handling sensitive topics like a raise request, the way you communicate your decision is just as important as the decision itself. What happens when you can't say yes to a raise? How do you handle tough conversations without losing trust? Even if the answer is no, or if it requires a delay for a decision to come through, clarity and honesty are essential. Avoid vague responses or deflecting the conversation, as this can create confusion, frustration, or mistrust. Instead, articulate the reasoning behind your decision in concrete terms. So for example, explain if the limitation is due to budget constraints, company policy, or a timing issue. Providing context helps employees understand that the decision is grounded on practical considerations rather than personal judgment.
So, transparency is key.
Yes, being transparent demonstrates respect and fairness. Employees may not always agree with the outcome, but when they perceive that decisions are made openly and consistently, they are more likely to accept them without resentment. Statements such as, "We're currently over budget for this quarter, so we can't adjust salaries at this time," or "Company policy requires annual performance reviews before raises can be considered," communicate honestly while remaining professional. Employees also deserve your transparency, and honest explanations also prevent misunderstandings and reduce the likelihood of rumors or assumptions that could damage the company's morale. So when employees understand the why behind a decision, they can focus on actionable steps for future, such as areas for skills development, performance improvement, or potential opportunities for advancement. Finally, approach the conversation with a respectful and empathetic tone. A clear, honest explanation paired with genuine acknowledgement of the employee's contributions reinforces trust and demonstrates that you value their effort, even if the immediate outcome isn't what they hoped for. Transparency and fairness in communication build a foundation for ongoing engagement, loyalty, and a positive workplace culture. So when an employee requests a raise that cannot be granted immediately, it is critical to shift the conversation from "no" to "here's the path forward." Simply denying the request without offering alternatives can leave the employee feeling undervalued or demotivated. Instead, focus on providing concrete opportunities for growth, development, and future advancement. This demonstrates that you recognize their contributions and are invested in their professional trajectory. One effective approach is to outline skill-building opportunities. You can suggest relevant training programs, certification, or workshops that can enhance their expertise and prepare them for increased responsibility. This not only adds value to the employee's career, but also benefits the organization by cultivating stronger, more capable team members. Another strategy is set a clear performance-based goal. Work together to define specific achievements or milestones that, when reached, could lead to compensation adjustments or promotions. By creating measurable objectives, you provide a transparent roadmap for advancement, helping employees understand exactly what is required to move forward. Additionally, establish a timeline for future review. Even if budgetary or policy constraints prevent an immediate raise, scheduling a follow-up discussion in 3 to 6 months shows that their request is being taken seriously and will be revisited. This maintains engagement and ensures employees don't feel that their concerns are dismissed. Framing the conversation around growth, opportunity, and tangible are the next steps in transforming a potentially disappointing situation into a motivating experience. Employees leave the discussion with a clear sense of direction, understanding that their efforts are recognized and that their contributions can lead to meaningful rewards in the near future. By offering alternatives and a path for professional development, managers demonstrate commitment to both employee success and the broader goals of the organizations, fostering loyalty, engagement, and long-term motivation. A commitment made is only as valuable as the follow-through that accompanies it. So when you promise a future review, whether for a raise, promotion, or career discussion, it is essential to act on that promise consistently and transparently.
I understand that transparency is important, but how does that translate into actionable steps?
The first step is simple: schedule an evaluation. Because if you're setting a clear date, this signals to the employee that their concerns are taken seriously and that their efforts are recognized. Tracking performance between now and the review is equally critical. Maintain your regular check-ins, provide constructive feedback, and document progress towards agreed-upon goals. This ensures that the eventual discussion is grounded on measurable outcomes rather than vague impressions. By offering updates along the way, you demonstrate accountability and keep the employee engaged and motivated rather than leaving them in an uncertainty. Failing to follow through, even unintentionally, can erode trust and morale. So employees remember the broken promises far longer than they can recall the initial conversation. In contrast, managers who consistently honor commitments build credibility and foster loyalty. Following up also reinforces a culture of transparency and fairness, showing that organizational decisions are predictable and equitable. In practice, a follow-through is about active engagement, clear communication, and accountability. Employees who see that promises are honored, goals are monitored, and progress is acknowledged, feel valued and respected. So in summary, handling a raise request is more than a transactional conversation. It's also an opportunity to build trust, demonstrate fairness, and support employee growth. By listening carefully, explaining decisions honestly, and offering meaningful alternatives, managers create a culture where employees feel valued, motivated, and empowered to succeed. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more workplace tips. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.